Well, folks, I managed to not completely scare Molly away last week, and she's back helping me out this week. And to get started, we actually got to head over to the sawmill and mill some more lumber so that we can keep building on the cabin because we're running dangerously low. So let's head on over there and get to milling.
I can definitely tell it's been a while since I have done anything because I am out of breath. The rest of the day should be very interesting because those boards are heavy. Well, folks, the sun's setting and it has been a very long day milling up lumber. I think I've got everything we need to wrap up the rest of this week's work, so tomorrow morning we're going to get back after it. It's the next day and it's time to get after it, folks. But tomorrow I'm gonna have Molly and Pops' help again. So my goal is to get the remaining 2 trusses built and ready to go so they can help me pick them up.
tomorrow and put them into place. But also I'm going to try to get the loft done today first, because that's going to help us out a ton putting up the next 2 set of trusses. So let's get to it. Dang, it's actually getting pretty warm out here. That feels pretty great considering it's been in like the 20s and 30s for the last week and a half. I'll take a warm afternoon. This is the kind of stuff you have to really pay attention to when you're using lumber like this. This beam looks perfectly fine. However, there's a big shake in here, which is basically a big crack. And it runs clear back to here. And if I hit this, probably can hear that. I'll probably break it off for you. Yeah, that wood wasn't even connected. Now, I'm going to clean this up with the draw knife and take care of that. But if that was in the center of this beam, it could seriously compromise its structural integrity. And it's real easy to miss that. All right, pretty exciting moment. I'm on the very last beam. I'm gonna get it put up into place. We're gonna space them out equally and then fasten them down.
All right, we got all the beams up and we are ready to put some decking down, which is pretty sweet. Yesterday, I managed to cut a whole bunch of 1x material. It's like 10 to 12-ish inches wide. Super clear, really nice stuff. So we're gonna get to cutting this to length and get them put up there. This really is a whole lot of fun. It really brings me back to being a kid and building forts and stuff. I'm not sure if you guys can tell or not, but there's definitely some cracks already in between these boards, and they're going to shrink a decent amount over time when they dry out. So what I'm actually doing is orientating the boards so that when they cup, they'll cup like this instead of like this. And I'm putting one screw right in the middle. And what that does is just keeps the board flat, but allows it to expand and contract as it needs to, which really in this case, it's only going to shrink. And then once they shrink, I'll come back up here. I'll take a few screws out. I'll push them together tight and re-screw them back down. But honestly, ultimately, this thing is a cabin. I want it to have a very rustic feel. That's the whole point of it. So I don't really mind having cracks and things like that. I'm going to leave that last one until later so that once these do shrink and I move them, I can cut a piece to fit perfectly around the posts and things. Well, the sun's setting on me, but the entire loft is done. I'm going to have to get up bright and early tomorrow and make sure I get out here in time to get these other rafters cut so when Molly and Pops get here, we can throw them up. But I'm calling it quits because I am pooped for the day. I'm going to go in and grab some dinner. See you in the morning. Well, folks, if you've been enjoying our content here on the channel, please consider heading over to provenhands.com, which is our small family-run business that we started right here in this room. Right now, we have a whole bunch of shirts on there that are 100% made in the USA. Next month, we're actually releasing the Pioneer's Belt, which is a 100% made in the USA belt. From the leather all the way to the packaging we ship it to you in. It is an incredibly high quality belt that you've seen me wear for many, many months, and I can personally guarantee you it is the best leather belt you will ever purchase in your life, and it's probably the last one you'll have to purchase. If you're interested in getting more information about that and being notified of when that belt is coming out, please head to provenhands.com.
scroll down to the bottom of the page and sign up for our email newsletter so you don't miss out on when this launch is happening. Thank you guys so much for the love and support, and hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's cold. You can see my breath out here, and for Southern Alabama boy, this is freezing cold out here. I've actually had to wait a little bit this morning for the sun to come up some so I could just get out here and get to work, because it's not really my body, it's my hands that's the limiting factor, because I'm doing like, you know, tactile work, and it's difficult to do that with like big heavy gloves. So if anyone has any recommendations for really warm gloves that you can still, you know, do fine work with, let me know. Leave a comment below. But Pop should be heading over here shortly, so I'm gonna get started working on putting together a few more of these rafters. Well, of course I messed up the very first one. Been sort of scratching our heads trying to figure out the best way to cut this whole rafter out, and still somehow managed to get it completely backwards. And so we gotta head over to the mill up another 6x6 so we can keep working. But good news is Molly just came out, so it's a whole family thing now. So let's head over and go mill some lumber.
look the same. I don't know how we did that.
How?
We're consistent at least.
We just laid this out. How did we do that?
I guess I'm here helping you, and you, when I'm not here to help you, you just depend on yourself if you do it right. I don't know. You got too much help today.
This is genuinely, today I've screwed up more than I think I have on the entire project.
Here's the deal. Sometimes you're the hammer, and sometimes you're the nail. You just gotta live with it. It's
What
going to
is
get
this?
worse as
Okay.
it gets older. As you get older, you're going to have more nail days than hammer days.
I tell you what would be interesting with that one would be to not make it a half lap and make the other one butt straight into it.
Yeah, that's the same thing, right? Pretty much.
Kind of, yeah. It's daggone lunchtime, and I thought for sure we would be done with all these trusses up and everything by lunch, and I just keep making mistakes. What you gonna do, Molly?
It's one of those days.
I guess so. I keep cutting things backwards, and I don't know what's going on. I even took extra time on the last one. Still did it wrong. Ugh, we'll make it work.
Good job.
Well, don't good job me yet. Let's see if it's right. stand in the middle.
Owen will be for a while.
You better run around up here.
Yeah, he'd be loving life up here.
And then I can box in a little window right there.
Oh yeah. perfect. That'll be the perfect height. Stand there and look out the window.
It'll be rappelling out the window one of these days.
Probably so. A zip line out there in the middle.
All right, we managed to get the middle set of rafters or truss, whatever you want to call it, in place. This one's a little bit different than the other ones because I actually cut this joint wrong and ended up just changing it up and doing it in a different way. But then also down here at the bottom at the base, this is actually notched in because they're not sitting on a beam that runs horizontally. So they're notched in there, and also we don't have the cross member there in the center. So this one's just sort of free span. Let's go on a bit of a tour of the finished loft. It's actually quite large up here, much bigger than I was expecting, and I'll even be able to just about stand up right here in the center when it's all said and done, which is pretty dang good. But we'll definitely be able to fit a couple mattresses up here, and we'll pile in up here as a family when we want to camp out, which is cool. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, because in next week's video we're going to be working on this thing in the snow probably. And so until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.